So happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. And this Monday, we're talking about manifesting your best life and the 3 things that you'll need. Before I go into that, I really want to know, because last week I had to record the Facebook live. No, it wasn't a live. I had to record it. And so now that I have you guys live, one of the things that I want to know is just how are you? Sideways, go back. Perfect. I have all kinds of things going on. I don't know, guys, why some of you are seeing me right, some of you are seeing me sideways. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going. Maybe you can not look and just listen this morning, but I'm not going to be deterred. I'm not stopping. I'm going forward. So that's it. Maybe if it's awkward to look at me sideways, just listen and look away, because as long as you hear it, that's what really matters. So as you guys know, what I was saying was I had to record last week. And so now that I'm here with you live, I want to know this morning, how are you guys doing? It's Monday morning. How the heck are you in your world? How are you doing? Please let me know. Start typing in the comments and just let me know how you're doing, how you've been. Last week, we talked about keeping promises to yourself so that you could start trusting yourself and the universe could trust you with more. And I'd love to know how you guys did with that. Me, I was so happy I did that. You know, that had that conversation with you because I was having it with myself. And so I started drinking all my water a lot more. I love being in Europe because sparkling water and still water is the same price. And I love still water for some reason. That just makes me drink more of it. I love sparkling water. So I got my water in. I kept my promise. And when I heard myself like starting to go into the not so nice Tasha talk, I was really aware of working on shifting and changing that. So I would love to know how you guys did. Donna says she's doing fantastic. Candy says she's doing great. Today will be the best Monday ever. You can tell the people that have done our program. They're like high energy, high vibe. I love it. And I really hope for everyone watching that you are in good spirits, you are in good health, you are feeling loved and supported. And if you feel like you're not getting that from anywhere else in your life, know that I love and support each and every one of you that tune in every Monday morning for us to have this time together. So thanks for letting me know, you guys. I love that. So this morning, I wanted to talk about you know, what we'll need to live our best life. And I can tell you that this thing happens for me. I travel, and while I'm traveling, I'm really present with what's going on. I really enjoy it. In fact, I was telling Diane, I hardly journal. I hardly, you know, do all my little routines because truthfully, I don't even need them as much as when I'm at home and having to get through the to-dos and the everyday life. Because when I'm traveling, I am so present. I'm so expansive. The only thing that I kind of need to do is catch a plane or a bus or a train or get on a tour. But other than that, I am totally present and I'm in my highest vibration, right? So I don't need the other things that I usually have to do to get my spirits high because that's just my thing. When I'm traveling, I'm there. And so one of the things that happen when you give yourself that amount of spaciousness in your life is towards the end of the trip and on the way home, and since being back home, my mind just starts like opening up and blossoming. And here's what it starts asking is like, so what's next, Tasha? So what's next? What's the next thing you can add to your life? The next experience, the next, you know, adventure you can go on, the next higher intention you can set for yourself, the next big, expansive desire that you can tap into. And I start just like really opening up to how can I add to this best life that I want to always be living. And it made me think about, I really do think, and I am so grateful that I'm always charting my course towards my best life. But it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. And so it made me think about if I could share with you what are the 3 things that I know have anchored me towards living my version of my best life, then maybe it will help you start to live your version of your best life. So here's the thing. Our best life is unique to each and every one of us. My best life might not be yours. I was thinking, you know, I'll be straight up honest with you. I came home, I sat on my patio yesterday morning with my daughter. It was just pretty basic. I had breakfast, she had already eaten, we were sitting there, and I looked down at my patio floor, and I have some tile missing in the floor. And I was like, you know what? I bet people would think that I have this perfect house, all perfectly done up, everything spot and luxury. And the truth is, I have some tile missing on my patio back floor. But I tell you what, in my best life, I'm traveling and that tile is not fixed. And that's my best life. Right? Now I have relatives and friends who they want the grandeur, they want the big mansion, and they want the, you know, all of the stuff, and that's their best life. And that's not me. That's not me. If I have a choice, I want to travel. I would rather be taking my son to Europe and having a great time for a week and a half and come back and sit and look at the trees with my chip tile. That's me. I'm okay with that. So in order to live your best life, you're going to have to be true to yourself and figure out what's your version of your best life. Camera's upside down. Leonora, you probably missed the beginning where I tried this a couple times, and we're just listen this morning, because some people are seeing it the right way and others are not. And I'm just going for this, like nothing's going to stop me from giving you all this message this morning. So plug in your earphones and look away. I know I'm breaking every Facebook rule, but you know what? So be it. All in the name of we're going to live our best lives. So here we go. So number one is to define what is your best life, and to know that stop comparing what anybody else says or wants or desires for their best life and determining what's yours, right? And once you're really clear on what that is and you're committed to it, all these incredible things are going to start happening to have you live it. But there's three things that you're going to need to kind of use your free will to do. Number one is permission. Here's what I find in my conversations whenever I travel, especially, and people comment or they message me personally, or I get in these one-on-one conversations. And what I find is people are really in awe of how I choose to enjoy my life and how are you able to do it? And I remember I've always wanted to live this life, but the thing that stopped me the most before was permission. Feeling like I needed everybody else's permission in order to go live my best life. When I was married, I sure as heck wanted a weekend away just by myself. I wanted to drive to the next town on a Saturday afternoon. But would I do that? No. I felt like I needed to get my husband's permission. And then when I got divorced and I would want to go travel to another state just to go to a concert, I felt like I was hiding from my mom because I didn't get her permission that was okay as an adult to be totally irresponsible and fly to another state to go to a concert. I'm a grown-ass woman, like in my 40s, still waiting for my mother's permission to go live my best life. And so many of us are waiting for God knows whose permission to go live your best life. So thing number one you're going to need is to give your own self permission to live your best life. That's it. Number one you're going to have to do. So right now I see the laughing faces. You guys are probably laughing at me, but you know it's true. You know you're sitting there waiting for somebody's permission, somebody to say it's okay for you to go do what the heck you want to do. Go do it. Give yourself permission right now. Type it. Let me know. I'm giving myself permission. I have permission to live my best life. I give myself permission. I am over 18 years old. I make my own money. I pay my own bills. You know what? I have permission to go live my best life. I don't need anybody's. I am giving myself permission to live my best life. There you go. Amen. Step number one. Number two, in order to go live your best life, here's one of the things that I find next big stumbling block. Not enough self-love. Because in order to give yourself the best, you have to believe you deserve it. So when I'm at the pizza place next to the hotel, paying €5, which is like $7 or $8 for a bottle of sparkling water, and going, I have to remind myself, remember, you're worth the best. You deserve the best. You love yourself enough to give yourself the best. So for you to have your version of your best life, it's going to require you loving yourself enough to give it to you. to take a stand and say, I love myself enough. God bless me. I deserve it. I deserve my best life. I deserve it. So thing number 2, I want you guys typing this morning to affirm this. I love myself enough to give me my best life. I love myself enough to give me my best life. And I want to tell you, several of you saw that my son was on this trip with me. And, the joke is, this is the first time my son's ever traveled with me internationally. I've taken my daughter lots and lots of times, and my son, being a boy, has just resisted. And he's just kept saying, I don't wanna, too much walking. Well, this time he came, and we got a lot of bonding and a chance for me to show him this way of life and to really have some conversations that are deep and lifelong lasting. And one of the things I said to him, I said, do you know the top 2 reasons why I'm doing this for you, Sebastian? And I said, the number 1 reason, I want you to have this experience, and I want you to be open to the truth that you can go have this yourself when you have the means to do it. You can go do it yourself. You don't need to wait for the perfect time, the perfect this, wait for your family and then take your family. Like, you as a person deserve to go live your best life, period. And I want to show you what that would look like so that you have that desire placed inside of you to go do it. But the way I know that he's going to take the action to do it is that he's got to have inside the knowing that he deserves it. And you know me, I drill those kids, reminding them all the time that they deserve it, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, to live your best life. And those 2 are pretty big, but this is the one that takes you from dreaming about your best life to actually going and living it. And here's number 3, courage. You're going to need courage. And here's where you need courage most of all. We all sit and we all have this idea, this fantasy of what our best life is, and then we come up with all the reasons why we can't do it. Don't have the money, don't have the time, don't have a friend to go with me, whatever. All the reasons why we can't go live our best lives. I was talking to my aunt this past week. We were in exchange and she was saying, wow, I'm just looking at you living your life and thank you for doing it for us. And she in the exchange, she said to me, when I lived in Europe, I wanted to do all those things. I've always wanted to do all those things, but I never had a friend that would go with me, or, all these reasons. And so now she's living it through me. And that's okay. I am so happy when you guys come on the journey with me. I absolutely love it. But the thing that I would love even more than that is you being on your journey, posting and sharing so I can support you and celebrate with you. And it's going to take courage. Listen, there was a time, and I share the story all the time, this desire for my best life has always been inside me. And a big version of my best life is traveling and spaciousness and getting away. And when I couldn't go to Europe, I went to the next town over. When I couldn't go, jumping on a plane to Jamaica, I went to the next state. I went to Savannah, Georgia. I drove myself. I couldn't even afford to stay in the heart of Savannah. I stayed like 30 miles on the outskirts, and I drove into Savannah to have the experience and drive back to my right next to the highway little hotel. But you know what? That's what I could do at the time, and I had the courage to get in my car by myself, drive across the state, and go have the freaking experience that I wanted to have in the way that I could afford to do it at that time. So today I'm going to challenge you. That's it. Enough. If you're not living your best life, why? Why? What's stopping you? Have the courage to go for it. And maybe you can't go for the whole big thing. Listen, guys, I still want to travel absolute front of the plane, first class, $10,000 a ticket, but I'm not there yet. So I'm in premium economy, right? That's where I am right now. And sometimes when I can go first class, I do. But it's not stopping me from not living the best life that I can. And so I have the courage to go for it, and I want you guys to do it too. That's my biggest thing. I am so lit up coming back from this trip. Obviously you can tell, but what I'm lit up about is I'm so happy that you guys loved being there with me. I'm ready for all of you to be living your best lives. for me to be commenting on your pictures. That's what I want. I want you to have the courage to go for it. And whatever it looks like, it doesn't have to be big. Stop with the excuses about the money and the time and the friend and the whatever you're saying you need, and just get the courage to go do it. Live your life, your best version of your life. Start now. So what can you do this week? Right now, this week, it's Manifesting Monday. What can you do? You can sit when this is done and ask yourself, what's the part of my best life that I can go for starting now? Can I plan a little two-night getaway in the summer? Can I, start writing my book? Can I start that course? Can I do a Facebook Live and start sharing the message that I have? Can I have the courage to just do something towards living my best life this week? It doesn't really matter what it is. Just go for it. Just do it.